You're going away for a long time, pal.
Jimmy, what does he mean?
Look, I honestly don't know what's going on here.
Welcome to WatchMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 things that are only illegal in America.
That's for the courts to decide.
For this list, we're looking at items and activities that are surprisingly taboo in parts of the US, but not the rest of the world. What's the most ridiculous law you've ever heard? Let us know in the comments. Number 10. Honking your horn around a sandwich shop after 9 p.m.
Hey, jerk! Move your fanny!
Well, that's an oddly specific law, but that's probably why it's limited to Little Rock, Arkansas. The city's code of ordinances reads, quote, "No person shall sound the horn on a vehicle at any place where cold drinks or sandwiches are served after 9 p.m." We guess if you're doing curbside pickup for a late dinner, the noise might disturb local residents getting ready for bed.
Yeah, I know you're here.
For such a specific rule, though, there's a lot of gray area. If an establishment exclusively sells paninis or burgers, does that constitute a sandwich shop? Are the police on standby around all sandwich shops after 9 p.m. to make sure the law is enforced? If not, what's stopping hoodlums from doing a honk and dash?
See, that's what I do. I ask for a snack and then I blow the horn.
Number 9. Sharing your Netflix password. Going forward, we wouldn't be surprised if streaming giants like Netflix cracked down on password sharing worldwide. As of now, Netflix's terms of use say that account owners shouldn't reveal their passwords to those outside of their households.
What's your password?
Password.
No, what is your password?
Password, the word spelled out password.
You're the head of security and your password is password?
I don't feel good about it either.
That's more of a guideline, however.
The code is more what you call guidelines than actual rules.
If you do share your password, the user agreement doesn't enable Netflix to pursue legal action against you, except for maybe in Tennessee. In 2011, the Tennessee login law was passed, making it illegal to share your passwords to services like Netflix. This was mainly about preventing people from selling passwords for a profit. Still, if you live in Tennessee and your freeloading Uncle Mike wants to binge sex education, you can tell him that you legally can't give out your password.
Give me the password, and I would at least let her live.
Number 8. Pickles that don't bounce.
You forgot the pickles!
It's common knowledge that pickles are crunchy and sour, but did you know that they're supposed to bounce? According to a 1948 article, pickle packers Sidney Sparrow and Moses Dexler were arrested for selling pickles, quote, unfit for human consumption.
Free! My PD hands where I can see them.
Hey, don't shoot!
What made the vinegary treats unfit? Because Connecticut doesn't consider a pickle unless it bounces when dropped from at least 1 foot. Since their pickles didn't meet Connecticut's criteria, Sparrow and Dexler were slapped with a $500 fine, which would be over $1,000 today. The pickles were also disposed of.
It seems like a waste of food, honestly.
Exactly. Waste of food, waste of time, you get it.
While it sounds bizarre, their pickles did splat when dropped, indicating that they weren't very fresh. Unless you're in Connecticut, you probably don't need to worry about getting into this particular pickle. Number 7. Waking a sleeping bear to take a picture with it. So, you stumbled upon a sleeping bear in the Alaskan wilderness. Do you A, remain calm and keep your distance, B, slowly turn around and quietly move to a safe area, or C, whip out your smartphone and get in close for a selfie with the beast?
And the last answer, C, is correct.
If you answered A or B, congratulations! You are a responsible, law-abiding citizen, not to mention alive. If you answered C, you're not only inclined to get mauled, but you just broke one of Alaska's weirdest, yet still worthwhile laws.
It was worth it.
We can't fathom why anyone would wake a sleeping bear, especially for a photo op.
Because I'm stupid.
Thank you.
Now you're gonna help me.
If enough people have this instinct to create a law, though, perhaps humans are more dangerous than bears. Number 6. Haggis. When people think of traditional Scottish dishes, haggis often comes to mind.
Get your haggis right here. Chopped heart and lungs, boiled in a wee sheep's stomach. Tastes as good as it sounds.
However, you don't see many people eating this pudding in the US. Some Americans might be put off by the ingredients, which include a sheep's heart, liver, and lungs.
Come with me to Raj's and eat there.
Well, I can't do that. What if he serves haggis and blood pudding?
I really doubt that's what he'll serve.
Hey, if you think that sounds gross, don't ask what hot dogs are made of. The sheep's lungs are the main reason why haggis isn't commonly on American menus. Since 1971, it's been illegal to transport sheep lungs, and therefore haggis, from the UK to the US. As of 1989, UK lamb and beef can't be transferred either. While Americans can make their own haggis, you might have better luck smuggling Cuban cigars into the country than a plate of haggis.
Jerry, Cuban cigars are illegal in this country.
That's why I got these guys. You're making your own cigars now?
Number 5. Snowball fights. If it snows where you hail from, you're lucky enough to partake in activities like sledding, building a snowman, and snowball fights. Well, that last one doesn't necessarily apply to people in Colorado. Several towns in the Centennial State have banned public snowball fights. In Aspen, the law states, quote, "It shall be unlawful for any person to throw any stone, snowball, or other missile." Yeah, apparently snowballs are a type of missile.
Not so fast, you son of a bitch.
Severance, Colorado lifted their snowball fight ban. And even in Aspen, the police are unlikely to show up if a couple of kids have a lighthearted snowball fight in their backyard. If somebody socks you with a snowball on the way to school, though, you and your lawyer might just have a case. Number 4. Eating fried chicken with a fork. We know that people can get passionate when it comes to food, although some places might take things a bit too far. In Louisiana, you could face up to 10 years in the slammer if you steal over $1,500 worth of crawfish.
Kind of like my old man told me one time, Lynn, the only thing better than a crawfish dinner is 5 crawfish dinners.
Stealing is wrong, but a decade for freshwater crustaceans? Even more curious, Gainesville, Georgia introduced a law in 1961 forbidding people from eating fried chicken with a fork, or anything else that isn't their hands.
Why do you eat so fast? You can't even taste it!
Don't tell me how to eat!
While this was more of a publicity stunt than anything else, it is technically a law. So when 91-year-old Ginny Dietrich was caught using a fork to eat her culinary delicacy, the police chief took action. Don't worry, it was a prank, but the mayor still pardoned her. Number 3. Drunk surfing. It goes without saying that you shouldn't drink and drive, but what about surfing under the influence?
He's a real searcher.
What's he searching for?
The ride. The ultimate ride.
That's another bad idea. But Iowa stands out as one of the few places that explicitly forbids inebriated surfing. The law states, quote, "A person shall not operate any vessel or manipulate any water skis, surfboard, or similar device while under the influence of an alcoholic beverage." The same goes for surfing with narcotics and other illegal substances.
Weed. Got any? Well, let's go surfing.
While the law makes sense, we're kind of surprised that Iowa, of all places, is the state that cracks down on drunk surfing.
Let me ask you this. A lot of oceans in Iowa?
No, just ponds and lakes and cocky pretty boys, apparently.
Cocky pretty boy.
Like, people visit for the lakes, but not exactly for the killer waves. The law could probably benefit other places in and outside of the US. Number 2. Children's books printed before 1985. Searching through your garage, you might find a box of books from your childhood or even your parents' youth. Although you're sure to be overcome with nostalgia, you may want to check how many of those books were printed prior to 1985. Why? Because lead was commonly used in ink before then. Since ink can be dangerous when ingested, the Consumer Product Safety Commission no longer allows books printed before 1985 to be sold, traded, or donated.
I only eat paper, but I can eat all the paper I want, so...
That is, unless they undergo a safety test proving that they don't have a lethal amount of lead. While this law only applies to the US, everyone is likely better off keeping their old books somewhere safe. You can't put a price on the sentimental value.
This puppy was the happiest puppy in the whole world. In fact, his name was Happy.
Before we unveil our top pick, here are some honorable mentions. The Ice Bucket Challenge. Most people could take part. but not U.S. diplomats.
So the White House won't become the Wet House, but the charity says the president has donated an undisclosed sum.
Exploding golf balls. Don't expect to see them on any Massachusetts courses. Also, those are real?
The longest drive of the day. Love it. That was a good swing.
Drinking blood. We imagine most places frown upon this, but Louisiana has a law against it.
You can't drink that in here, Robbie.
All right. I'll finish up in the alley. You guys coming?
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Killing Bigfoot. The Bigfoot name can be traced back to at least 1958. Over 60 years later, there's no conclusive evidence that this mysterious creature exists or has ever existed.
Oh gosh, that picture, that was taken in an amusement park. That's not the real Bigfoot.
The real Bigfoot. Oh my God, you're so funny.
If Bigfoot is more than just a legend, though, it would be illegal to hunt him in Skamania County, Washington. In 1969, only a couple of years after the infamous Patterson-Gimlin film surfaced, the county introduced a law declaring the, quote, slaying of Bigfoot to be a felony and punishable by 5 years in prison.
I got off the horse and took my rifle out of the scabbard in case I had to make a shot.
The law was altered in 1984, reducing the punishment to a 1-year sentence and or a $1,000 fine. It admittedly sounds silly for something that might not even be real, but we shouldn't take any chances when it comes to endangered species.
A hunter spots a hairy form in the forest. Bigfoot. His story is dismissed because, to be honest, he'd been drinking and had a history of mental problems.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.